Pullman, an eastern Washington rural community that's of course also home to Washington State University. This small community in the southeast part of the state has a unique beauty of its own, along with the Palouse River and miles of rolling wheat fields and farmland. The area is also home to recreation, with the Bill Chipman Bike Trail connecting Pullman with Moscow, Idaho. But there's a growing movement here in Pullman, headed up by a local man, who would like to see miles of shuttered railway become what's known as railbanked. This would create miles of walking and bike trail for those who are looking for recreation or simple and safe transportation. However, his plan has come under heavy fire from some local lawmakers and even some community members.
Go get it! I've been here in Pullman and the Palouse in general since 1971. Hey, how'd you like that one? The Palouse can hold its own with any place in the world as far as beauty.
Rich Wesson has called the Palouse his home for more than 50 years.
I went to Wazoo, Washington State, and unlike most students, I really liked it.
Wesson says railbanking is a win-win for all stakeholders here in the Palouse area.
I stirred the pot. I wrote a number of letters to the port commissioners, to the county commissioners, to different councils and mayors. You know, railbanking is the only sensible idea.
And for the better part of the past 20 years, Wesson has made it his mission to try and get 19 miles worth of unused railroad tracks railbanked, which would create a rail trail corridor on what's called the Cap Line, appropriately named because it connected Colfax, Albion, and Pullman before it was shut down in 2006.
I did a little researching on rail banking, and that's exactly what that does. You can take a rail corridor such as this that isn't being used. As you said, this hasn't been used for 15, 20 years, and you can turn it into an interim trail. And if they ever need it back for rail purposes, there it is.
But many residents who live on the abandoned rail corridor and who are against rail banking the right-of-way and turning it into a trail cite criminal activity concerns like vandalism and trespassing, while others say they worry about privacy. And another obstacle is the controversy over who is responsible for what.
I own the land to the middle of the track, but the state owns the right-of-way that overlays that. Both in the court of law are regarded as property. So we can both point to it and say, that's my property.
Railbank trails also have the potential to increase safety for bicyclists and those traveling on foot alike, all but eliminating the danger of being struck by a car, as many cyclists and pedestrians face on both urban roadways and those in rural areas too.
Okay, I can ride my bike or I can walk, right? But the only places I can legally walk is out on a road with traffic, with gravel, with dust, with danger. Here we already have a 100-foot right-of-way, and all I'm asking for is a 10-foot pathway that you can go out and enjoy the Palouse.
A report put together in 2016 by Pullman Civic Trust in cooperation with the Washington Department of Transportation that currently owns the abandoned railway and the National Parks Service revealed that aside from privacy concerns, the pros seem to outweigh the cons when it comes to railbanking this specific right-of-way. Yet years later, Wesson is still continuing to try to convince lawmakers and property owners that creating a rail trail on the old Cap Line is what makes the most sense.
I just want a reason why we can't have a trail there. We own it, it's not being used. The law allows it without any rezoning. It's a permitted use as it stands. Give me one good reason.
Despite these obstacles, Wesson is not about to give up his quest to see that the Cap Trail project becomes a reality, just as the Palouse to Cascades and the Olympic Discovery Trails did years ago. And he's confident that it will be around in time for him to thoroughly enjoy.
I want to see this done in my lifetime. I'm 70 years old and I expect to live to be 100. I would like it a little sooner so I can use it as well.